Overwatch's Uprising event has just kicked off, and there is an exciting new PvE game mode to try out. We have some great tips for each of the 4 heroes to help you fight your way to victory. The mission is split into 4 sections. The first requires you to capture 3 locations, one after the other. Although you shouldn't underestimate this section during harder difficulties, it is pretty straightforward for each of the heroes. It's a good opportunity to farm up your ultimates and make sure they're ready for when you need them. It can be a good idea to let Reinhardt safely take some damage early on, so make sure you have Mercy's ult available in case things go wrong. You should also know that you can revive individuals if they die, so save your ult for the toughest moments. Torbjorn should make sure everyone is armoured up, Tracer and Mercy in particular, and make sure to use your turret to establish a back line on the objective in case any omnics get past. While the turret covers one area, Torb can protect another. As Tracer, you are going to be flying around killing everything as quick as possible, but don't stray too far from your team. If you run into the Eradicator Omnics, which have a front-facing shield, you'll need to blink behind them and unload your clip towards their head. This will break the shield projector and allow your team to finish them off. Make sure to keep someone back on the objective at all times, as with no one on it, the hacking is interrupted. Once you've cleared this part of the mission, you'll need to defend a stationary payload in the courtyard. This introduces some new enemies. The first are small raptor-like machines called slicers. These will deal substantial damage to the payload, so try to take them out at range. If they get in close, Reinhardt's hammer can be used to finish them off. You'll also be facing detonators. These large bombs will deal big damage if they reach the payload. They have a tough outer shell, but once it's broken they will suffer more damage by shooting their insides. If they get too close to the payload, Reinhardt can charge them back, but ideally they shouldn't reach that point, and Tracer can use her ultimate to break their shell and gun them down quickly, or Reinhardt's Earth Shatter can be used to knock them down. Torbjorn wants to get his turret up on the payload and make sure to use his ultimate whenever large waves of Omnics attack. He will generate ultimate quickly in this phase and can use it quite freely. Another elite enemy are the Bastion units. These will try and enter sentry mode and deal major damage. Reinhardt's ultimates are great at stopping them in their tracks, and his shield can protect allies from their damage for a short while. Mercy should focus on keeping herself and Reinhardt alive, top up Torbjorn and Tracer whenever necessary, but don't take risks to do so. Things will get a lot tougher if the healer or tank are down. Be ready to use your ultimate if you need it, and stay behind Reinhardt's shield as much as possible. After defeating 3 waves of enemies, the payload will set off. This stage is when things will start to get a bit more hairy, as enemies will come at you from multiple angles and bastions in tank mode will appear and deal major damage. Try to stay fairly grouped up, protecting the payload is still the big priority. Don't get distracted and run off ahead, as slicers might sneak up from behind. If you make it through the streets, you will reach the underground entrance. Once you bust through the door, you'll run into the final type of Omnic, the OR-14. These use the same skills as Orisa in game, and in harder modes they can be pretty tough to defeat. The first couple can be challenging enough, but the final 2 are grouped together and are supported by a large number of other Omnics. Make sure to save your ultimates for this fight, and utilise Reinhardt's shield to protect yourselves and Torbjorn's turret. In harder modes, make sure to play it safe, as there are a lot of threats in this final part of the mission. So I hope this helps you get started with the Uprising game mode. It's a lot of fun, and I'm sure you will have found some great tactics yourselves, so be sure to share them in the comments to help your future teammates. As always, this is James Fakir saying thank you for watching, and enjoy the game.